turn the dial. You're now tuned in to this Safety Man Movement Podcast with your host, Terry the Great.
What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of the Safety Man Movement Podcast. I'm your host, Terry Gray, and I am the Safety Man, and guess what? So are you. We all have a part to play, and I'm excited about today's episode because today's episode is for my safety leaders. It's Thursday, and we're about to jump into it. And so let's talk about this real quick because today's podcast episode is talking about teams and teams that are silent. And the episode, I guess the title is going to be People Stop Speaking When Leaders Stop Listening. All right, now that's, I've seen this happen where there's different types of leaders who respond in different ways. Earlier this week, I talked about your powers that you have, and you as leaders typically have more power than you recognize. Or sometimes you have power that is given and not necessarily power that is earned, but you are in position to influence on a broader scale and a more immediate, effective scale because your authority gives you that type of influence over people, right? And so you have teams and people that you're working with, and sometimes we have teams where people stop talking. So if you are a leader and you have teams that are silent, this episode is for you today. I'm just going to be talking to you guys real quick as we start this beautiful Thursday. I hope you had a fantastic Wednesday, and I hope that everything's going your way. But today, I need you to know who others are, and I need you to be able to recognize their strengths, your teammate, right? A lot of times we don't try to dig into that discovery step of who our teams are, and that hinders and it hurts us a lot. So the safety thought of the day that I want you guys to think about as we're beginning this day is a quiet team is a team that might be hiding something and you're in more danger than you think, right? Of course, we already know that there's hazards that exist out on the floor wherever you may work. And this, again, can apply personally with your team and just as an organizational as a whole. But as for you safety leaders today, we're on the work site today, right? So when you're dealing with those teams, them teams that are quiet and aren't saying things, typically it doesn't mean you don't have problems. Typically, it means the problem is different than what you're anticipating. You may be listening for clues and things like that and waiting for them to talk to you about different things that they just seem to not be talking about. So you think things are all hunky-dory, but there's a danger that is taking place that you just haven't recognized. And I've shared this before, and this thought, not necessarily in this podcast, but I've shared and expressed this, and a lot of people say this, and I've shared that, I believe that silence is agreement. While I know that that is true in a lot of cases, it's not always true. It's not always true because silence doesn't always mean agreement. Sometimes silence means, or it is an indicator of a loss of trust. Sometimes it means people no longer trust the response that you are giving them. I always talk about this when I am doing a presentation. I will have people say, hey, that one friend that no matter when they start talking, that they lying to you. You say something to them and they either always got to lie to outdo what you did because you caught a big fish. They want to have caught a bigger fish. You did this, that, and the other. And they just in this constant competition. But most of their stats that they're telling you are fluff stats and lies. You as a safety leader don't want to be in that category, right? So if you have a team that is quiet, a team that doesn't report much or say anything, it's not an indicator always that your work space is safe. It could indicate that they don't feel safe in the space with you as their leader. Jeez, that's crazy. So when people stop trusting you because you're not a man of your word, you don't work in integrity, again, your powers that you have, you may be abusing those things, or you may put people off, right? Caring for others requires learning to communicate, learning to see how your team communicates, how they make their contribution, how they feel like they are contributing to the team, and how they respond under pressure. And your ability to properly manage those responses will determine how your team responds. You have to care. You have to listen. When people feel like they're seen and like they're valued, they're more likely to raise some concerns and try to help solve problems than those people who feel like the person that is leading this meeting don't even care. So when you are going into your job today on this beautiful Thursday, now, whoever you are, think about this as well, of yourself in your leadership capacity. I'm specifically talking to safety leaders right now, but all of you are a leader of some degree. So think about this as it pertains to you specifically as you approach this day. And maybe you are listening to this a little bit late and you may have said some things that you wish you could have revisited, that you could have said differently. You can go back and change those things. But if you're always shutting people down, if you think all ideas are dumb ideas, or if you have a specific person that you're always that you think their ideas are irrelevant, you limit your team's potential. You limit your organization's potential to grow. You limit your culture's possibility to expand and to flourish into a culture and an environment where everybody feels like they are in a safe space where they can express themselves openly without judgment, without being shut down, without just being snapped on by the people who are in charge, the people they are supposed to be trusting, and those people just not giving the respect or the attention that's necessary, all because you don't understand how to communicate with that person or how that person deals with different things, right? So think about that today as you continue to lead with perfection, lead by example. I won't say perfection because none of us are perfect and all of us are still growing. So as you're leading with intentionality, this is what I want you to do today. Here's your safety shift of the day, because we're all becoming safety shifters as we're unlocking this inner hero inside of us, because there's different capacities. And I try not to say too much when I be talking here because I could just go on and on and on and on. But this is what I want your safety shift to be today. I need you to go to your teams, my safety leaders, go to your teams and ask this question. What are you seeing that I might be missing? And when you ask that question to your team, listen without immediately correcting them or defending them or trying to defend your stance. Sometimes you can just listen and hear what people have to say. You don't always have to have the answer. You don't always have to be right. I hate when I have to experience people who respond like they're a police officer trying to control a hazardous situation. And no matter what is going on, no matter what is happening, you have to come out on top. You have to be right. You'll create an issue when there isn't an issue. You have to be willing to communicate with your team to empower them. One of the key things that I share is that you have to be willing to empathize to empower. Empathize to empower. You have to care for people in order to empower those people to be more effective for you and your teams. So go ask that question. Go talk to your teams. Make a difference today. It's almost time. It's almost over. I don't know what time of day it is for you, but it's almost over, right? But take this and apply it think about the people, again, who you care about at home. Ask that same question. What are you seeing that I might be missing with your kids? Say that with your wife, right? We're correcting, creating a safe environment. Again, I'm trying to tell you, safety goes far beyond policies and procedures, but it's protecting purpose and the preservation of our legacies and preservation of the people who we are dealing with on a daily basis. Safety is not just 8 hours in a day. We want to go home the same way we came in, but we want to leave, come back to work the same way that we left, and you have a part to play. So today, here's your call to action that I need you guys to do. I need you to go ahead and share this with another leader. Send this to a leader that you think could make, who is influencing over people, or with the leaders who make it safer for people to speak, or somebody who you think may need to make it safer, or somebody who could send it to another person who could send it to another person. Do those things and follow me and subscribe to the Safety Man Movement podcast. I'm working on getting the Safety Shifter community set up so we can all kind of communicate and talk together. But hey, here we are. As I said, I try not to keep you guys too long. Here we are, Thursday. I hope you guys have a fantastic day as you're going into your day, or if you're listening to it late, that you had a fantastic day. And tomorrow's another day and another opportunity for us to shine bright. And we can all do this together, because the safety man is no longer one individual, but many individuals that are one. Thank you guys for joining us today. And I'll see you guys again for Friday on tomorrow. Thank you. See you later. Peace.